clap something. The people out there waiting for the music. Why I come with this bomb clap sabotage.
Oh gosh, women, no surrender, no retreat, no man like a police. When I'm in the mood, telling you for me, we know the way I got to hit. Oh, 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 they are the miracle. Oh, 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 they are the original.
Yo, test it then. It's yours truly, Madness KMA, and I am here for the preview right now, representing for the Jungle Report and the one and only icon, Stevie Hyper D. And this is the early preview, and these are the guys responsible. We've got Jamie and we've got Daryl in the premises, well, outside the premises. We're about to go live.
Yes,
Just tell us what's happening here, because finally, obviously, I did my piece to try and help for the icon that is Stevie Hyper D, the GOAT of all MCs of all time. Let's not ever get it twisted, because if there wasn't him, we wouldn't have the sing-alongs, we wouldn't have the rhythm riders the way he did, with the countless amount of energy that he did. And it was a pleasure to represent. So the Kickstarter program was going, and that's when I contacted you guys to say, you know, let me get involved to try and help and just give a little publicity for it. And on the channel, it was such an honor to represent for such a legendary guy. So tell us about some of the journey. How did it get to this? Because it's been filming for some time now, right?
Yeah, so we started making this film in 2017, but actually it was in development since 2012.
Yeah. And it was initially a documentary.
Yeah, so it's a feature documentary, and finished it in 2021, or we picture locked it in 2021, and then did a first pass at the sort of grade 2022, and then started shopping it 23 into 24. Got a distributor end of last year, and then basically all year we've been planning release. And,
but before you get there, how did you get? So you're a producer.
So I'm a producer by trade. Yeah,
and it was just something you was passionate about.
So Daryl actually approached me. I used to do a lot of music journalism alongside my sort of production work, and I made a short film on Navigator.
Okay.
And he'd seen the work on Navigator, and then was just like, yeah, I'd love for you to do something on Stevie, basically. And it was like my uncle. I was like, right, let's definitely do something.
And that's the thing. And I can see features. I swear I can.
Yeah.
So for you, having this iconic uncle, and obviously, I don't know, I think you're close in similar age, was it?
Yeah, there's 10 years between us.
So right, so you saw his journey and how it, progressed to what it is to people, just being a legendary icon as it is today. Yeah. And then you just wanted the story to get out about his life story.
I'm a bit frustrated when his 10-year memorial kind of came out, and there was nothing really done. No one approached me doing no raves or anything like that. And then you kind of had a look on YouTube, and it was just like a couple of tapes, and I was like, I've got to do something. I think, it's at that point, it's 10 years, and if I don't do something, no one else.
To honour his name, yeah.
And then that's when we kind of started doing, looking into doing other music and stuff like that. And I came across Matt, who's done the Rinse FM, my Uncle Doug's show, and from there it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people showed interest.
Yeah.
So that was our driving force.
I think that's what it is as well, is because, as we know, as time and history goes on, people you can get rubbed out of history.
Yeah.
But the good thing about those days with hardcore and jungle and early drum and bass, the videos were there, the tape packs are there. Yeah. You cannot deny the voice of who is this guy all the time. So I think it's just such a brilliant project, so people can look at it from the new school generation of jungle drum and bass. Now they can look back on it and say, oh, that's him, and this story that is being told within this is, what do we expect to see within this movie?
Well, it's, first and foremost, it's, obviously it's a music documentary, but really, like, we set out to make a film. Yeah, we shot really high for it. I did shoot really high for it. It's in a sort of similar vein as like Senna or Amy, made by a filmmaker called Asif Kapadia. And what we ended up with was like a biopic. So it's on one hand, it's a music documentary that sort of tells the chronology of somebody going through hardcore and jungle, as you say, but really ultimately it's a story about a person, and Daryl takes us on that journey. The story about the person, and it's full of music from the time and music from the era, but really it has emotional heart and narrative that a lot of, dare I say, a lot of generic music documentaries don't have. And I don't think there's ever been a film about our world and our culture that's been told in this way.
That's true, because there is so many different documentaries about drum and bass history, jungle history, garage history, and these sort of things, but it's always told from a certain narrative of a collective of individual people or a group of people, say they might be based from East London or South London, and these documentaries go around and they ask the same questions to the same set of people, you get the same answers. So it had to be done, you know, because it will tell the history about the realism of somebody who captured the audiences up and down the country and overseas as well. And you know, how do your family feel that now it's come together?
You know, seeing Steve work so hard and, you know, get to, you know, eventually reaching that pinnacle.
Yeah.
Was kind of,
we used to call him a machine.
Yeah, he was.
He was
a robot,
machine.
man. You know what I mean? You know, he got that bounce and gave him that because he saw Steve like 3 nights. 3 times in one night, and was like, bro, what, you still chatting? And he's done like 3 hours here, 4 hours here.
Yeah.
So we always knew Steve had that special something, and, you know, seeing that kind of, you know, turn into his reality, you know, we kind of been happy for something, because, you know, you saw him do that real, you know, when people nowadays say, you know, I want to do this, I want to be an MC, it's like, there's a level of graft you got to do to get to where he got to. And, you know, it took the UK MC scene quite a long time to kind of find their feet. You know, we was always in the shadow of the reggae or hip hop, but it was never really our own. You know, when the rave era came, and you had, you know, the likes of the Ragga Twins and all these guys kind of coming from, you know, stuff that was their bread and butter until you know, Shut Up and Dance, but came and just, you know, took that risk. And Steve, you know, took many risks. So, you know, he took the risk in the house, he took the risk in the acid.
He crossed so many boundaries with his lyrical talent and his capacity from the hip-hop style. I was listening to some other tapes the other day, and I remember the rapping style that he did, and the combinations that he had with Nicky and Mickey Finn. These certain sets were just iconic, and just that's how we know the lyrics over and over. But me as a young raver and a young MC, when I started off at 13, and I started off on a station called Defection, that was Weekend Rush days, Cool FM days, and that was it. When we used to go to Roller Express and these type of places that I was allowed to sneak in through the door, he was him, and we was just in awe of watching this guy just spit lyrics continuously, but he knew when to start, when to stop, how to flow, when to change it, go into dancehall style. It was amazing. It's amazing to see. So I cannot wait to see this, and hopefully you guys have got some unseen footage that we haven't, you know, the regular stuff. I searched, I did try for the Jungle Report, and but it's all stuff that it's just, you feel like you knew him. So it has to be seen. So when is it getting the main release?
So it's coming out on November the 19th at 60 cinemas nationwide.
60? Oh wow, that's
ODEON,
amazing.
That's
amazing. Well done, guys.
Yeah, so it's a single night screenings, currently one night only. Obviously we want everybody to turn out. And I think I can confidently say it's the first jungle drum and bass film to be released in cinemas nationwide.
Yeah, of course. But guys, respect, because this has to be done. An amazing achievement as well for getting it done. Yeah, thanks. Do you know what I mean? We'll catch up after the show.
Steve, you know what I mean? For the culture for Steve is, you know, it's everything that, if you're coming from a particular time in history, you know, this is your thing.
That's the good thing. Like I said, he was part of the golden era, but still now part of history, because if you listen to any MC on the jungle drum and bass scene, you will hear Stevie Hyper D. Trust me. We'll be back later on. So we got Uncle Doug's here, and this is the Jungle Report on Pirate Chronicles series channel. And if we're talking about radio history and people say I'm like an encyclopedia for garage, this guy is the encyclopedia for jungle drum and bass history. So what are we doing here? Let them know.
Well, we are here tonight in I never know whether to call it Slater or Scalator. SCL.
I'm saying Scalator.
Yeah, Scalator. Whatever. Anyway,
I just said Brick Lane.
We're just off of Brick Lane. You alright, guys? Yeah, we're just off of Brick Lane at the cinema for the first showing for the public to see the new Hyper film, Stevie Hyper D story. We've been here for a few viewings for like industry stuff and test screenings and all of that, but this is the first time that any public people will turn up that we don't know tonight.
Right.
So it's a real, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I've been involved with some of these kind of things over the years, but only really on the periphery. I've been writing the mix of this from, well, the idea was kind of born on my show.
Yeah,
11, 12 years ago. Yeah, so that's my alarm. 11, 12 years ago, and don't get run over. And yeah, just being close to the front. Look, it's them guys. I'm not saying no credit at all. I'm just a big mouth. Like, you know what it's like. We've got that. We're good at shouting at people, but watching them go through the good bits, the bad bits, it's been a lot.
Yeah, because
more than I ever
years that they've been doing it.
Yeah, and then obviously the pandemic come along.
Yeah.
And it's just watching it as kind of like an outsider, what they've gone through to get it to this point. And Jamie especially, like, he's like a dog with a bone, mate. You know, the hardest thing to do is finish a project. Like, we've all got these creative people, have these great ideas, we're going to do this, that and the other. And when it's something like 10, 11, 12, 13 year project that is going on and on and on and going nowhere fast, it's easy to throw the towel in.
And I mean, what was Stevie Hyper to you over the years? Who would you say?
So, like, I mean, obviously I've had to speak about this a fair bit. So, like, I was a Cool FM kid, and I grew up through the Cool FM. I followed them around. I didn't really care too much about DJs as an MC. I'd love to be able to MC. I'm terrible, but I fell in love with the MCs from early. So I used to follow all them guys. So I never give Stevie the time of day. When he was first around doing the rave thing, because he was doing up things at MCMC and all them, I was over doing Jungle Fever or Roast and following Navi and the Twins and Moose and Det and them, man. So it wasn't really till he come on the Cool FM with Nicky on the Sunday show.
Yeah, I remember.
But obviously I'd heard him, but he wasn't one of them. So stupidly, I didn't give people the time of day. Come on to Cool. First show, I've got it on tape still now. First show, I thought, fucking hell, I've missed out. Like, what have I been, like, what have I done? And then I become like a super fan, learned the lyrics, learned the history.
Same thing,
Yeah, and then up until he passed away, sadly, like everyone else that come into, like, you couldn't watch what he did or listen to what he did if you love our music and think, hey, shit.
Yeah.
You fell in love with him.
There's no way,
We just all we found him at different stages, all of us.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
I caught him from the hardcore stages. And again, like you said, when he was MCMC, but we always knew, even as when I was young, was 13, 14, and when I used to listen to him on stage at Roller Express and these sort of places, MCMC had that Cockney style you know, we're having a major, it's that kind of voice. But when Stevie took it, it was like, hey, this guy,
levels, man.
He's got some dancehall elements to it. So we loved
levels.
it. Yeah, and then the rapid lyrics that he used to come out with continuously on the set. Some people used to say, oh, he chats too much. No, he's not chatting enough, because he knew when to start and stop, but he was a machine.
Do you know, doing this project especially, I've been able to go back and through Daryl and whatnot and hear like early stuff, and obviously now I'm appreciating him differently. Back then I weren't giving no one the time of day because I was young, and if it weren't cool, it weren't me. But now when I listen back to him, even pre-rave, because there's bits in the film, I don't want to spoil it, but there's bits pre and in the bedroom, like parring with his mates and all that. There's all that in there. But you can hear he's just got something special before anyone had stuff special.
It's a gift. And it's proven, because it's how many decades later that we can still recite his lyrics. We can still say, this guy. And if you, like I said to them guys, if you're listening to any jungle drum and bass MC today, you will hear something that is familiar to ear that came from Stevie as the blueprint.
Yeah, he just set what it become.
Stevie Hyper D. I was in the studio because I'm always chatting fast. Then them lot said, man, you're hyper.
Yes, Wiser. What's good, man?
And you are you a fan of Stevie?
Yeah, I'm a fan of drum and bass in general as a whole, as the whole spectrum. But Stevie, I mean, he's an originator. It'd be rude not to be a fan. And his tunes are still, in my eyes, is legendary. The melodies, man, that's a vibe. I don't think anyone's ever bought that since, personally. Yeah, right. Singer MC.
So, how long have you been MCing for?
I'm now 25, so 8 years, 9 years. I'd say properly 7 years.
And when did you come into the knowledge of Stevie Hyper D?
Oh, early on. I think when I was younger, DJs that were still OGs and killing it were people like Nicky, still a Brocky, who was still doing loads of stuff, like converted to the jump up style. So I definitely knew from the interlocks of that anyway. And I've got my good friend V-Dubs in the back chatting absolute breeze as always. And yes, Gizla, what's good, man? And she's a little bit older than me, but won't say that to her face. And they know all the knowledge, man. I felt very blessed to be like given proper history lessons, the double time, the melodies. He's done it all, man. So I mean, everybody's probably taken inspiration from him one way or another, even if they don't really know it, you know?
Exactly. I mean, Dubs was just saying a good thing as well, and saying even if you're, you know, not to say a fan of just the jungle drum and bass music or Stevie Hyper or his legacy, this is something that needs to be seen because it will capture your heart.
Yeah.
People said they've been emotional whilst watching
definitely.
it, and we're going to see some behind the scenes footage that we've never seen before from him in the background, in the bedroom settings.
I'm so looking
as
forward
we've
to
all
that,
done,
man.
you know, coming up throughout the scenes in our different timelines. So this means something special to everybody.
Yeah, you're spot on there, by the way. And the fact that even if you don't really know Stevie or his music, you're gonna see people in this film, if you like drum and bass or dance music in general, that you know or you've heard of. There's so many people involved in it.
Yeah.
I was very lucky that Daryl and Jamie showed me a little clip the other day, a 1 minute clip. Just looks incredible, man. I'm very blessed to be here. Yeah.
We are still outside meeting more of the people that's coming here just like us to preview this amazing movie today. And here we have V-Dubs outside the building because we're about to go inside. So, you know, what do you know about the movie so far? Have you seen anything about it?
I've obviously seen loads of hype about it online, but today this is like a first for me seeing it, so I'm really looking forward to it. You know, absolute legend, celebrating him, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it's all about.
Yeah. How long have you been in the jungle bass scene?
Ooh, so I think it's about 18 years DJing, but obviously as a raver, maybe about 20, 25 years.
Yeah. So what does Stevie Hyper D and his legacy mean to you?
It means everything to me. He's like the epitome, the just everything you'd remember about MCs back in the day.
Yeah.
So
because I say the blueprint. He started this, he started the sing-alongs and everything like that. Everybody came after will have a piece of what Stevie delivered
100%.
first.
I think everybody from all different ages and, you know, they all know who he is. Exactly. I've even got like vinyl with him on, like where. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, really looking forward to seeing this today.
Basically to the ticket link. It's coming out in cinemas nationwide.
I'm going to watch it again, definitely.
We can confidently say this is the first jungle drum and bass film to be released in cinemas nationwide. That's a big deal. And yeah, we just need everybody to spread the word. So just tell everybody, tag it on social media. What's that?
Only 1 day.
It's coming out 1 day, but the idea is it gets rolled out basically after.
Okay, so if they sell well.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Alright,
Exactly.
Is it a national release on the 1 day?
Yeah, it's a national. 60 cinemas across the country.
That's right. Well, I know there's money in Britain.
So yeah.
So guys,
Let's remember this one, man.
thank you very much. It looks like you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, man. And yeah, just what Jamie was saying, man. Let's just get it out there. Let's let everybody know that Jungle DMB is massive. Team Hyper.
Even because it's so long, Netflix they can break that like apart. Just gives you more. I just saw it during to the end and I was like, oh man, do you know what I mean? But
Well done, guys. Hard work. Smashing. If you're an upcoming MC and you think you've grafted, you've not watched that. That's grafted.
wow, so we just finished watching the whole entire movie, and I just said right at the end of it to the guys that produced it, Jamie, big up to Daryl as well, Stevie's nephew, that this could be easily seen on Netflix. And it's such a long movie as well, but you wanted to see more and hear more as a jungle fan and as a Stevie Hyper D legendary fan. You just wanted to hear more about it. But then it's like, definitely, a big network like Netflix needs to pick this up as well, because for the jungle drum and bass scene and the UK bass music, or just UK music in general, this is something that needs to be seen by not just fans, that can understand the legend that is Stevie Hyper D, but to understand the music culture that we all lived and breathed back then from the early 90s, and just to see the extensive work that he put in until his untimely death, it still lives on to this day. So enough respects to Jamie, big up to Daryl, all the crew and all the Kickstarter members that helped to get this to where it is. And I believe it goes out in November to 60 cinemas nationwide, and then we'll see what happens after that.
My name's Hyper D, this is what I do. And I mean, but it's a knackering job, believe me.
Yeah, so again, it's an experience that people need to see. I highly recommend, and I always say rated and recommended, that you go and see this movie when it comes out. Go to the cinemas, don't wait for the DVD bootleg. Go to the cinemas and actually see this movie, because the story was told from start to finish. I think the guys did a brilliant job in captivating the essence. And there's loads of bits in there that they said at the beginning that we saw at the Jungle Report, and they spoke about what they had the hidden footage from him. I didn't even know like the band settings of how he come up from, and his link with Darkus. Big up to Darkus as well. He's a legendary figure in the music scene as well from Island Records. Yeah man, I'm glad I came down. We don't usually come down to London unless we're going to family settings, but it was like a family settings that we did get to watch and view from this iconic movie, and it will be an iconic movie, trust me.